I started, from making, $50, $100 here and there.
And to me, there was a time you were trading all those $50, $100.
You know what you mean? My posts are still down there now, 0.05 days, $20. You see me, I'll be screenshotting, and that's $20, $100. It was just a thing of joy to see that kind of money. When I was making $100 then, Q then was making like 5K. It was so much. I was saying, God, please, how am I going to make? Will I ever make this kind of money? So I could see what I was going to be like in the future. So I wasn't really bothered about now. I told myself year in, year out, if I'm using 0.05 now, in the next 6 months, there's no way I will still be using 0.05. So even in my activities and my learning, I made sure that I was always leveling up. I'm a high-risk trader. Social media came for me in 2019 when they said, this guy is claiming he made so amount of thousands of dollars and he's driving Honda. What kind of man is that? And that's when I challenged everybody. I told them, okay, you know what? On Monday, I'm going to do live trades. And the money I'm going to get from that live trade, I'm going to get a new car. I deposited 3K. Everybody, all my students joined me live and they were watching and we all made money. I made 44K in 3 hours there.
On live trading?
On live trading. And then the money eventually got to 114K the next day. And that's where I got my ML. So those were like the joy moments. And that's one of the beautiful aspects of trading. It just makes you show off and show out.
If I am to ask you that in terms of actual trading, do you think you are the number one?
In terms of actual trading,
Hey guys, do you want to learn how to navigate the Forex markets and turn your financial goals into reality, but mentorship fee has always been a constraint? Then this is for you. I introduce to you Forex Trading Unlocked, a free Forex training and mentorship program designed for beginners and aspiring traders like you, or for traders who haven't discovered their edge in trading. For a whole month, you have access to proper training, live trading sessions, expert strategies, and direct mentorship from me. In this training, you will learn to understand the Forex market step by step, execute profitable trades, apply risk management tools, and develop trading strategies that work. This program is my gift to the next generation of successful traders. So, if you are serious about learning how to trade Forex, this is a lifetime opportunity to have access to free mentorship and guidance for free. Forex Trading Unlocked 2025 link is in the description of this video. Click the link to join the waiting list. See you on the profitable side. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to yet another exciting episode of Forex Trading Straight Talk podcast, the biggest podcast in Africa. And thanks to you for your support, your engagement, your shares, and also thanks to our mentors and Forex enthusiasts that will bring on the space to share values, so that the younger generations can make informed decisions. And today is a very special episode because I have someone very big in the Forex space. He's one of Nigeria's finest Forex trader, and I've been following him online for quite a while, and I have been disturbing him, and finally granted me the audience to come to the podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking of no other person but the Odogu himself, KENECHUKWU Trading. Thanks for coming to Forex Trading Straight Up podcast.
Mr. Peak, it's nice having you in my home.
Yeah, we're looking very sharp.
As should be in your podcast now, so we gotta show up.
No, first, the first thing that I want to dive into, because I want to go straight into it. When you are with people that have so much value, you try as much as possible to extract everything within the shortest possible time. The first time I got to know you was, I think earlier this year. I was scrolling to my TV. It was on a Sunday morning, and I saw somebody giving a testimony in a church, and I started hearing Forex. I started hearing. I was like, who be this? Who be this? Who be this? I just increased the volume. I started hearing, and it was you that I saw, and you were narrating a story of a particular trade that you took, and blah blah blah. with your broker, how they called you, they were asking you if you knew you were on a running position and all, and you gave testimony of how much you cashed out from it. And I was like, once I have the opportunity to meet with you, I'm going to ask you to give us, the full story in a calm way of that particular incident. So we're going to start from that before we enter into other aspects. So give us the full story of it.
To be honest, I mean, every trader has this time in their life where, you just encounter like a brick wall. And then when you're within that range, you're telling yourself that, listen, if I get out of this brick wall, I'm going to go church, go talk. And that was it for me, really. I remember that particular week, I really wanted to level up my trades. I came into 2024 telling myself that, listen, KENECHUKWU, you have gone past a particular level of maybe, let's say, risking 20, 30, 40K. This time around, you have to just go big in it, or risk 100K, And yeah, I remember that time, the first time I decided to risk 100K on a trade, I lost the trade that day. And I literally lost 100K in less than 2-3 hours.
Down to zero.
Zero.
Wow.
Yeah. And, I went for a second attempt, and it's crazy because the second attempt, I also lost the 100K. And then it was crazy that time because in each of the money I lost, I was up like big amount of profit. I remember being the first 100K, I was up over like 100K, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to hit like high, and eventually it reversed on me. The second one, it was the same. And I told myself that, listen, I have one more tryout to test this faith of mine. And if it goes wrong, I'm going to literally like look for a way to, work things out. And if it goes right, I'll go church and go. And, I was really just, at that particular point in time, I was just all about the fact that if this thing should work, then I know I'm set. I really want to do what I have to do. And then I did the third attempt, which was 100K. And that's when he really started. I remember making about 390K on that trade profits. And then, of course, I had to, withdraw the previous 300K loss. And then I restarted with 90K. And that was my run, that eventually blew mine. So those were like 3 brokers. The first one, I made $1.2 million. Second one, 1.2. Third, 1.2. So
okay, it wasn't from a particular broker.
No. HFXS. 2 HF1XS. So it was 1.2, 1.2, 1.2. That's $3.6 million.
Around the same time.
Yeah.
How did you feel?
Number one, it was in record time. So it took like 4 days. Yeah. And the feeling is crazy because I mean, if you bring cumulative, I would have made that over time. But, doing it in a record number is actually very crazy because the money was really fast-paced. So I just knew that it was testimony time. But, I wouldn't go as that I made this, I made that. But at the end of the day, it was really something mind-blowing for me. And it was a new level for me entirely. And at that point in time, it's something I really wanted. Not like I wanted money, but I wanted to challenge myself to tell myself that, listen, KENECHUKWU, you can actually, at the end of the day, risk more to, aim higher. I mean, you've gotten to that level over 7 years in the game, so you should be able to, aim higher. And that was really the major stepping stone for me.
So where did you get the motivation from? Were you influenced by somebody, or it was just a self-decision that I want to make this mark?
Okay, coming into trading in 2017, I personally had a mentor. During that time, it was the hottest mentor on the block there was QBanks.
QBanks, okay.
And, having QBanks mentor me in 2017, I could see a young man then in his early 30s. And in his Bank of America, he was sitting in over $4 million then. And having an in-person online class with him and seeing somebody doing something that big, I told myself that, within a range of time, I should be able to achieve that as well. So I remember, was it 2022 or 2021, if I'm not mistaken. There's a time he came online and he was ranting that he took a trade that day and he lost $220,000.
$220,000.
And a lot of people in the comment section came for him that how can you be a man and lose that kind of money? What happened to risk management? People had a lot to say. And for me, that was where I drew my motivation from. I told myself, who the hell are you? How much money do you have that you have to blow 220K one day? And then over time, one of the ways to actually learn from people is to kind of like understand their mind and know how they go about things. So for me, I said, listen, if I can mirror myself to act in this kind of way, then I should be able to do it. And so coming into 2024, I just told myself that, listen, I know if you lose 220K in a day, make I no die though. But I told myself that, listen, I'm going to amass an amount of money that can give me comfort to be able to leverage 100K as much as 4 times. If the 4 times fail, then I will start almost close to afresh, but not as fresh, but I will still have something to hold on to. So that was my motivation coming into 2024, and doing it right now, I feel very much fulfilled.
All right, now when you were talking about how you flipped that money and made a lot of money, you said there were times you mixed $100,000 and you blew it, tried it again, you blew it. Now, how did you get to that point where you were trading? Because those are still big figures.
How did I get to the point? Okay, to be honest, I've been here a long time, and by saying I've been, one thing I always tell people is that there are different ways to make money in trading. Okay, this might be very controversial, but there are actually a lot of ways to make money. You can make money either through mentorship by teaching. You can make money through signal rooms. You can make money from trading itself, which is the biggest way to make money.
Yeah.
Now, for somebody who has been in the business for a very long time, you should know that, of course, I've amassed a number of students, definitely. And of course, I've gotten money from signals over time. I've also gotten money from my trading itself. So coming into 2024, I wasn't a small money trader. At least I could say that I've had 100K day. Okay. Not a lot of it, but I would say on average, I usually average at least 40K every day. So one thing about me is that I always, when I have a target, either I fix that money and tell myself that I'm preparing for the breakthrough year. Okay. Or I invest it in properties in such a way that it can give me income for me to throw in. Because as a trader, one of the things that make you really relax in business is if you're able to take money from your trading, invest in assets that can give you a percentage of the money you can use as your risk. So if you are very much dependent on trading 100% without any extra revenue, then of course you meet a brick wall. But if at the end of the day you have like other ventures that can give you money, then you know that when you gather up that money over time, you understand that even if you lose that money, there is somewhere that is coming from. So that money, you might as well ask me, okay, how did you get that? It's from the consequent trades I've taken in the past, combination with, of course, student fees and signal rooms, but understanding that the other two things I talked about, before you get to the level to offer, you can't offer a service you do not have.
Definitely.
So definitely, everybody's goal in life is to monetize your skill. That is why people, you see people who are very skilled in barbing, they start up classes and start teaching people how to barb. It is not a bad thing. I will never say it is bad. You see people who are very good in automobiles and they get people who they will teach how to flip money through cars and they monetize it. Elon Musk owning Twitter, putting paid fees where you can pay for Twitter blip, even as much as he's the richest man in the world. You don't call it greed. If you have money, you want to make more money. So when I got to the level whereby I can easily look at, mind you, 100K is not the kind of money that anybody will lose and you are going to smile. Let's start with that.
That's definitely.
I remember losing the second 100K. I sat down on my bed. I called my fiancée on the phone. We cried together. It was a crazy time for me. And when I was crying, it got to a point where I had to wipe my tears and say, okay, what next?
Like you cried for real?
Yeah, I cried for real. Are you kidding me? Dollar exchange rate was over like 1,002 at that point. If you lose 240 million in 2 days, and you understand that 240 million can get you a GLE coupe, at that time, you understand me? Also, you are going to cry. Crying does not mean that you doubt yourself that you are going to be.
You're just expressing emotions at that point.
But you're expressing emotions because at the end of the day, it's not the kind of risk you are used to. If I lose 40K, I will not cry. I will not exactly be sad because I know that I'll be able to make it next time. Or even if not the next time, because I got it to a level whereby, to be fair, it's not really something that can shake me like that. But when you lose an amount of money you are not used to, you will express emotion. Anybody who tells you they're not going to express emotion is a liar. That person just wants to talk. No matter who you are, except maybe you're Dangote. Even Dangote will feel sad to a certain extent. So that was just me at that point.
Okay, now from what you said, there are lots of questions I want to draw out from there.
Feel free.
But let's go back to how you started Forex trading. I want to know how the journey was like. How was your Forex trading journey from when you started or before you started?
I ventured into trading because as an Igbo man, you just want to look for areas where you can get money. And I remember in 2017, IML started iMarkets Live. I don't know if you know.
Yeah, I did iMarkets.
So IML was a thing in Nigeria then. So I had people from Canada come here and say, Kene, have you heard about Forex? I said, which one is Forex again? They said, oh, there's something called IML. So I got into IML then. IML used to do refer, bring.
All those multi-level marketing.
Yeah, so when they called me up, I said, me, I'm not really good in this referral thing, but I would know this thing for me. So, when I noticed that they were all about referral and no education, that was when I started researching and I figured Q. So when I figured Q, I paid for Q's classes. Q's best friend,
It was how much at that time?
his in person was over 1,400. Yeah, $1,400. His close friend, his best friend at that time, what was that his name? He just stays in Florida. Can't remember. It's Technical Prosperity. That's the name of his best friend's Forex brand. I paid for his best friend as well. So I had 2 friends teaching me, So after that, and I just told myself, okay, this looks like something I can do. So what I did with IML then was that I ended up teaching them why they brought clients to me to register under me. So I did in mathematics. I had to help them in the area where they were lacking, so that they can give me part of, people who could generate income for me. Because, the more people you bring, you make money. Yeah. And that's why if you go to YouTube now and type Trade Ukene, you will see me teaching a lot of people in those early times. Because most of them, they had to gather in Zoom calls. I would teach them, real time. We'll have real time analysis. Things will play. They'll be like, oh, this guy is very, very gifted. And then eventually, when I figured that IML was not really doing what it needed to do, those first set of people I was teaching, I got them into my platform for free. So I founded Trade Ukene in 2018. Yeah, all those people I taught them, they became my first set of students free. All of them got in. And then that's how really my journey started. So I started, from making, $50, $100 here and there. Eventually,
there was a time you were trading all those $50, $100.
What do you mean? My posts are still down there now, 0.05 days, $20. You see me, I'll be screenshotting, and that's, it was $20 was money then, not now that dollar is. But I mean, $20, $100, it was just a thing of joy to see that kind of money. When I was making $100 then, Q then was making like 5K, 8K, which was so melting. I was saying, God, please, how am I going to will I ever make this kind of money? So then I could see what I was going to be like, a possibility. So I wasn't really bothered about now, but I had my mind on the future. So no matter what I was doing, I told myself year in, year out, every 6 months, I had a plan. If I'm using 0.05 now, in the next 6 months, there's no way I will still be using 0.05. So even in my activities and my learning, I made sure that I was always leveling up. Yeah. Leveling up is something that's very important for me, because if you did not progress, and above all, I had people I was consistently looking at, to mirror my life to. Because if I don't have people who definitely motivate me to do more, I'll be stuck. So, I mean, I started just like everybody started. And I want to come, I'm a high-risk trader. I always refer to myself as a high-risk trader because I'm the kind of person that, and I early times when capital was not the best, what I always want to do is, put $100, they try and get it to 10K. Put 1K, try and get it to, 20K. And then, of course, the times I made Trade Ukene was in, during the first Bitcoin bearish run, when I made a whole lot of money. And the second time when I put $3,000 to $44,000, and then it got to 110. They been a crazy times, including the one
that 2020 bull run.
Yeah, 2020, 2018 bearish. Yeah, sure. The 2020 beginning. And then the most important part was when, social media came for me in 2019, when they said, this guy is claiming he made so amount of thousands of dollars and he's driving Honda. What kind of man is that? And that's when I challenged everybody. I told them, okay, you know what? That was on a Saturday. And I told them on Monday, I'm going to do live trades. And the money I'm going to get from that live trade, I'm going to get a new car. And then that was when I said Euro JPY. I deposited 3K. Everybody, all my students joined me live and they were watching and we all made money. I made 44K in 3 hours then.
On live trading?
On live trading. 44K. And then the money eventually got to 114K the next day. But that day that I made 44K, I withdrew $18,000. Then I sent it to Englewood in New Jersey. And that's where I got my ML. That's when I got my ML. Then people were like, this guy, you dey para. But so those were like the joy moments. And that's one of the beautiful aspects of trading. It just makes you show off and show out.
Yeah. Now you said you learned from Q Banks. Mm-hmm. Now, do you think that the mentor you learned from has a role to play in how you trade currently, or how you took trading then?
Okay, and
Because you said you are a high risk taker. Now, was your mentor then? Did he have a role to play in how you trade or how you approach trading?
oh yes, 100%, 100%. Before I learned from Q, I did a little bit of personal development myself, meaning that I was slightly profitable before I came to Q. I didn't come to Q as a proper novice. I already knew how to navigate through the market, and I needed to see things from industry's finest. It's just like for me now, right? If I, maybe not now, but let's say maybe if you go to like 2018, 2019, and I see that, this guy, you are raking in one kind of money I'm not seeing. I am not a proud person. I will enroll in your course. I don't care if you tell the whole world that I learned from you. I want to know what you know. So I'm going to enroll, get your knowledge, and then, add it to whatever I know, and then I move. So I could identify with Q because he is what you define as high risk. Q is the kind of person that can throw in 40K and say, I'm okay with it burning. You can, you can call that gambling. But let's be honest, at the end of the day, trading is gambling. It's educative gambling.
Definitely.
So at the end of the day, you are no different from somebody who goes to play sporty bet.
Sure.
But the only difference is that because we all want to give it a name, you are a price speculator, meaning that at the end of the day, you are not certain that this thing is going to predicting. You are predicting. So that makes us gamblers. You are just adding English to it. So once you understand that you're a gambler does not exactly, it's a risk taker to a certain extent, except you want to be riding bicycle. You must be willing sometimes to be able to put your mouth where your money is. But before you can do that, you must be able to build yourself financially such that if you put your mouth where your money is and it fails, you will not go and drink pure water outside. So that is just the goal. You should be able to be yourself. I always tell people, you can't come into trading as a brokey. You must have something you are doing. It will help you, get what you want to get faster. So for me, I could identify you as somebody who I wanted to be like. And that's why if you notice, if you look at even the cars he drives and everything, the lease car is like $400,000. And I'm like, bruh, that is lease car. We are coming for it one by one. So that's the thing. You always want to mirror.
Now, there's also something that I noticed more recently when I started getting so much aware with social media. And that is how, they troll some people a lot. Like people, those keyboard, I call them keyboard warriors. They come after people a lot. And I see most times or sometimes people come after you, like say negative things about you on Twitter and all. How do you handle such things?
So one of the things I can say, and I can say it bold in front of camera, is that when it comes to accountability, and I'm being 100% sincere now, when it comes to accountability within the entire Forex Nigeria space, accountability in terms of say, bring your record, make we see. I don't think anybody is as transparent as me. So other people can come out and say, I made so $1,000, and then maybe they'll drop a screenshot or show a video. But KENECHUKWU will show you the process. I feel like the problem with individuals and why they attack me is because if you see something that is not very normal, it is okay for you to be very inquisitive.
Question it.
And I do not blame them because if, for example, I see somebody throwing 50 lots like a madman in the room, I would be like, who the fuck is this guy? It is very normal. Like it is a very normal thing. So most times when people come with, I've gotten to the point whereby I no longer really pay so much attention to things like that because I need you to understand that a trader has his own growth phase. In the last 2 years, let's say past 2 years now, if I want to trade, I might want to trade and want to cover 100 pips, 120 pips. But I need you to understand that there's a level you get to in trading that you don't need those.
Yeah.
What you might need that can feed you for a very long time might just be 20 pips. But guess what? For a newbie that comes in with his $100, that 20 pips is not exactly enough. So if he comes to you, a KENECHUKWU now in 2024, he's not going to see me as a brilliant trader because he'll be like, so now just 20 pips in the catch. But why do you think KENECHUKWU will want to catch 100 pips on a 50 lot one position when 20 pips can just give me peace of mind and give me $10,000 in 5 places? That's 50K. That is what you call growth in trading. It's a curve. When as a trader, when you even get there, you understand that you don't need to stay so long for you to make more.
Yeah.
So when it comes to people always having a lot to say, you would, in fact, when they even have a lot to say, you should know you are doing something right.
Yeah.
Do you understand? And people have always said, oh, KENECHUKWU makes money through mentorship. Go to Twitter and search Search my handle. Check the last time I advertised mentorship. If I sit down right now, you would never see me come and say, come and enroll for class. Come and be. No, we don't do all those things here. Like, it's to make you understand at the end of the day, with or without, we are good.
Driving.
Do you understand? And that's what differentiates, I will not come and say, like I said earlier, teaching generates money. In fact, in your early phase as a trader, teaching itself even give you your capital. And you see, at the end of the day, are you not the teacher? If you say, if people love your lie and they call for it, so be it. Do you get what I mean? So that's the funny thing about life.
Yeah.
You have to be able to monetize things so that you can level up more. It is not a bad thing. But me, when I came into trading, I had money when I came into trade. Good money. I had Shop America by the side, my company of, since I got into university, one entrepreneur of the year throughout my schooling, my time in University of Lagos, and one best student-owned business in Nigeria and Ghana. So I've gone far. I was an early millionaire before I got into trading. So nobody can say teaching made me an early millionaire. Do you get where I'm coming from? So I'm very fine with it. In fact, now I don't even block people. Oh, is this blah, blah, blah. I will smile and be like, oh, thank God, it means they are doing something really. It's paining them. You get what I mean? So yeah, I have no issues with it at all, to be honest.
All right. Now, because of the level that you are currently in trading, and I want to believe that, of course, in recent years, you have been teaching people as well, if you have students. Now, is there a difference between how you teach people when you were still trading your $100, $200, and now that you are trading in thousands? Is there a difference in how you teach, in the approach? Do you understand what?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Is the way you are teaching now different because of the level, the realm that you are currently?
What I'm going to say is that psychologically is different. Trading is trading. The only difference is the psychological aspect of things. This is what I mean. The way I teach now, I make my students understand that you are in a gambling environment. Meaning that because you're in a gambling environment, you need to get the finest of setups. You can't be like that person who will be saying 1%, 2%. I tell my students that, listen, the moment I teach you, especially my in-person, let me not talk about like my online, and in-person student, before you can even open your mouth and say you want to cough up money for an in-person class, it means that you should be able to even fund your account with $1,000 minimum. And once you fund your account with $1,000, just because you're coming into the business, inside that $1,000, if you're not able to risk $50 on a trade, you are not ready. And if that's $50, because if you're risking $50 on a trade, the expectation on what you are doing is that $50 should be able to give you $150, $100 and stuff like that. So the point I'm trying to create here at the end of the day is that you should be able to risk more. That is what I teach them. You should be able to do what you want to do in the best way possible without actually getting scared, because the issue that actually makes people get scared is the fact that you are not waiting enough for what you want. So by the time you understand that it's a gambling game and you have to take advantage of the setup in the best way you can to give you the money that is required, you know that now is more or less a psychology game. It's not by who know pass and who. Do you actually make that money to the last pip? That's what differentiates you. If I'm trading now and I look for the best of setups and I'm telling myself that, okay, on this trade, I want to risk like, let's say 40K on this trade. At the end of the day, for me to be able to risk that 40K, I am damn sure that setup must have, 1, 8 or 9 over 10 years and stuff like that. And then I'll go for it. So what I teach them is the psychology of trading over the skill itself. I will teach you the skill, but I need you to prepare mentally for what you're supposed to see.
Wow.
Do you get what I mean?
That's amazing. Now, with your experience in Forex trading and with the way we see people approaching trading these days, I know that people still, wallow in unprofitability. What would you say from your experience as a Forex mentor and someone who has had access to lots of students before? What would you say is the mistake that current traders are making that is making them not attain that level of profitability?
The first issue I'm going to identify is the fact that people feel that once you're a professional, that you're above losses. No matter what you know, or no matter the skill you attain, no matter the mentor you get, there must be a time you pay for your sins. I'll use myself as context. In September, this year, I'm looking through my year, I've had out of 11 calendar months now, I've had 2.5 unprofitable months out of the whole year. Now, what I'm going to say at the end of the day, one of the most painful months I had was September. September, it felt as if I knew nothing. It was back to back to back. Now, let me tell you something. If somebody came into my channel September, 1st of September, as they watch this interview, they will do like this. Do you understand? Because the losing streak won. Exactly. Because at the end of the day, nothing where you wanted them to make them understand, say you don't be useless trader. Do you get one? That they see they give advice where I only can not sabi anything. They will just be doing you want say course. No more. But that's the truth. You must pay for your sins. And that's why most time when I see people come online and they want to make it seem like this trading, you're not going to pay for your sins, you are joking. Because even the best of trading robots that people create, a trading robot can give you multi-thousands of dollars, and you see 1 month, if you don't control the turbo, my guy, EFCC will settle this. So that's why I tell people that no matter, even if you are the finest of traders, hedge funds even go in losses. Who you can be? Hedge funds that have the finest of traders in the building, they liquidate. Meaning that as a trader, the moment you recognize that time where things are not working, the only option you have is to go to bed and wait for another time.
Just isolate from the
just run away. And that is what I mean by paying for your sins. So the advice I always give newbies is that there is no holy grail in trading. The only way you can know if what you are doing is working is for you to look through the past and future and tell yourself that, okay, you know what? It's a numbers game. This might fail a couple of times, but it's still going to do what it needs to do. But the moment you keep on searching, just because you had a very bad run, you keep on searching. And, you are looking for something that's going to give you pure perfection. Then there's trouble. And that's why I'm going to tell you. I'm sure for a few of your podcasts and the ones you do in future, one question I want you to ask is that if traders were that profitable, why can't you see any in richest people in the world? I mean, they hear trader, they tell you, me, I'm the best trader in the world that I hear. You should be on Forbes list now. What are you waiting for? If a trader makes $40,000 every single day, in a week, $280,000. In 10 months, how much is that? 280. In fact, if you add it together, that's $1 million every month. Of course, you'll be leveling up. So that means you can even make as much as 50 million. So I'm telling you that why are we not seeing traders richer than the likes of Ilumelu? And it tells you something that they have. It's not everything you bring on social media now, to be honest. Are you going to come now, peak, and take it and be on a very long losing run? You come and now be posting yourself down. Don't know. Definitely. But what you're going to understand at the end of the day is that it is part of the business.
part of it.
People would always have their bad run. And that bad run cannot define. Nobody can come here now or anywhere and tell me KENECHUKWU is a terrible trader. You can tell me KENECHUKWU sometimes he touch her for head. But at the end of the day, he's good at what he does. But you can't come and tell me I'm a terrible trader. Because at the end of the day, my track record in the best way possible speaks for me. At no point in my entire life, and I'm not even one at the end of the day that wants to. I don't believe in fake it, make it mentality. I just feel like I cut my show according to my size. You will not see me, I always have a specific rule to say that if I want to buy something right now, except I can afford it like 5 to 10 times, that's when I'm going. Because I'm not in a hurry. Everything will always have old model. You buy G-Wagon today, if I buy it in 2 years and buy the latest model, you are old already. Do you get what I mean? So there's no rush. So the advice I'm going to give is stick to what works and understand that even as it works, sometimes it might just be a little bit shaky, but it doesn't mean it's not working. So that's my advice, really.
All right. Now, let me come back to the issue of social media. Do you think what role do you think social media plays in the life of traders that are trying to attain profitability? Do you think it has positive effect on them or negative effect? Especially how people post, their lifestyle. Some come to even fake it, post screenshot, post $1,000. My God, don't my real, some my fake. But how do you think that is affecting people that are not in that level yet, even though some might be fake?
I must start by telling you,
okay,
one time now, that let me use Twitter. I won't mention names. Although I know that not so will happen, but regardless, let me just say this. If there are 10 of your mentors who come out on Twitter to say that they made so, and I'm not talking about just small mentors, I thought like the big mentors, 10. 8.99 out of those 10, they are fake traders. And the reason I'm going to tell you this is facts. I've been able to sit down with people who head these industries. Let's say FOREX, XNES, GMI, which other one? Majorly those ones. And one of the things I've consistently heard, specifically, let me use GMI for example. And when I did my run, because in GMI, they are head of Africa. Promise Joel called me on the phone one day and told me, KENECHUKWU, why is it that you don't like using a different broker? Anytime we approach you, you'll be telling us no. I told them, because I don't know if you people can pay. And he said, come and try us. If you notice, in this conversation, I mentioned the person's full name. I did not say somebody because I like when you can link me back to a conversation.
Yeah.
And I told him, okay, you know what? I'm going to test your broker with $9,000 and see whether you people have money. I promised, can they come now? And then we came. And on that same day where I deposited 9K, I made 146,000.
With the 9K?
Yeah, that's what I made on Euro JPY. And they almost did board meeting for me. Because you know why it was crazy? I got a call. And in that call, what they told me was that you have done something that nobody has done in Nigeria before. What you just did now, within the space of time, nobody. And it got me thinking, I was like, what do you mean by nobody has done it?
Just did it now.
People are posting, although not everybody uses GMI, so that can be an excuse. But based on their platform, a lot of people use GMI. And when he said that, I was like, why? He said, because most of your traders in Nigeria make money through trading commissions, which is not a bad thing. A lot of people make money doing expert trading. There are traders in Nigeria that make over $35,000 in trading commissions every single day. Meaning that tomorrow they can buy a Rolls Royce clean. In 10 days, that's $350,000. Buy Lambo in 10 days. It is not a bad thing. They are different. Like I said, you can make money in trading through what? Mentorship, signals, commission, and trading.
Yeah.
So any niche you pick that works for you, you are a trader by all standards because you've been able to position yourself to become the finest in that field. But where I do have an issue is now when you now sell that to the audience as my skill. That's where social media is terrible. Because most of these people you see, they sell that dream and tell you this is what made me. And you now try to position yourself according to that dream and you end up being a consistent failure. You get where I'm coming from? Yeah. So I would rather have you say commissions made me. We fly to that and nobody will come and say, nobody is gonna do anything. And that's why it's still legitimate money. Do you get what I mean? When I did what I did with HF, nobody don't do it now. Almost anybody use HF now. But nobody has done it now. Do you understand? Nobody has even come close to something like that.
If not, I'd have told you.
I can tell you. I don't want to really, no, that would be too, but I can tell you that the amount of traders in Nigeria that have closed out 100K in one day, in one trading day, trading, I'm not saying profit, trading. I am not quite sure they finish two, like two. They count two now.
1, 2.
2, 1, 1, 2, like this AG. I'm telling you. And if at the end of the day they watch this video and there's proof that there's any, bring it out. That person that brings it out that say he closed that 100K. And now I don't want to go to other, they are unregulated brokers. You can see one broker, they'll call it Espinos or something. That's their problem. I'm saying on HF, if you can show me that you closed that 100K in one day in HF, if you watch this video, you can message me, I will send you a token. And that token is not going to be like 1K, I'll send you 5K. At the end of the day, that should tell you that I am very sure about what I'm saying. So at the end of the day, you now begin to ask yourself that these things that they are now showing, where is it coming from? Do you get where I'm coming from? So at the end of the day, you kind of like understand that people don't exactly mirror what they achieve on social media. It's not left for you to now tell yourself, okay, you know what? I choose to absorb this information as my motivation, or I choose to pressure myself into putting myself into financial debt. So you must be ready to, and willing for you to consume certain info. You can come and tell me, oh, KENECHUKWU, nobody can ever come and tell me, KENECHUKWU, what you claimed you made, you did not make. It's not possible because the records are there. I'm not the kind of person that will say something and I will not tag the owners.
Yeah.
I tag the owners for a reason. So you can question the owners. I'm not tagging you so that you will go and look. You tell them, oh, okay, something like that.
Go and verify.
I mean, if they cannot even verify, would you invite me? Do you understand? So at the end of the day, what I'm saying is that why there are ups and downs in trading, while I understand that things are not, the way put it is not as perfect as it. If everybody makes 100K every single day, you are the rich. I can slap anybody on the road now. But the curve of every trade is that it goes, there are ups and downs. The ability for you to withstand the downtimes is what will determine whether you still go up. But if you feel like any mentor is going to make you keep on going on a high slope, you are lying to yourself. To be honest, you are really lying to yourself.
So amidst this noise in social media, how would you advise traders that truly want to learn good knowledge? How would you advise them to pick mentors? Like if they want to select, because there's so many noise on social media.
The first way to know that you are picking a wrong mentor is a mentor who does more of lifestyle than actual trading. If a mentor every day is always showing you fast cars, this one is going for your money, my G. Nobody has that time. That content is not even content worthy. If I tell you for free that the highest request I've ever gotten since I have been in trading for me to teach was when I bought this car. Do you understand? In fact, before this one, the highest request I ever got to teach was when I went to Mauritius in 2019. I remember being in Mauritius in 2019 and I was in, what's the name of that city? Can't remember. I remember my apartment was $1,400 a night and I spent 2 weeks there. I had his own private chef, everything. People saw lifestyle and I was in Mauritius and people who paid for in-person classes in Mauritius was over 70. And mind you, in 2019, my in-person was like, I think $8,000 then. So imagine if you are in a country, you're seeing $70,000 sitting in your wallet for classes. And I did something people did not do there. I refunded everybody because I wasn't ready to teach. I just wanted to enjoy life. I gave everybody back their money. But that is what lifestyle gives. It gives people false belief that, I guess
that is why a lot of it, because if the mentor is genuinely posting charts, right, and not only knows it, another mentor posts lifestyle, students will gravitate towards that.
No. Don't get me wrong. Posting chart don't mean say it's a bit trade though.
No, I understand, because how do you even know that somebody knows how to trade if you don't see the chart work or maybe see some videos of him or her before? You know, people just gravitate towards where they feel, this guy did that.
The easiest way to know that somebody trades is to study the person as an individual.
Okay.
For me, what brought me towards Q was if you see somebody who has an idea of what he's doing, you will know. It's not my grammar. I mean, people can tell you, that block here, spiritual block there. That's not what we're talking about. Some people are great teachers, but terrible traders. Do you understand? In fact, for a newbie now...
And those people make good traders.
Great teachers, terrible... No. You will make traders like you. They will only know how to speak after the market has happened. People always have an opinion to speak after market. And I'm telling you, push towards the start. Or they get posting before it happened. No. Definitely no. So everybody has an opinion. When you see something has happened, myself, I feel and I like to see that. Do you get what I mean? So, I've had, personally for me, I've had landmarks. I remember and I've had downtimes and good times. Let me give you an example. I remember when one of my funniest time was when, let me start one of my best time, when dollar was at 360. And I was on Twitter then in 2020, COVID, and I was shouting at the top of my voice on Twitter, Instagram, because when I want to do certain things and I want to have a bragging right, I try to make as much noise as possible. So then I was saying dollar is at 360 now. With COVID happening and with China shutting down and Nigeria depending on oil products, it is obvious that one of the highest, buyers of oil product, which is China, is not going to be available. And since we depend on oil, it means our exchange rate is going to skyrocket because we have nothing to hold on to. So then I gave a projection that if you have dollar, if you have naira and I should use it, sell it off and buy dollar, that dollar is going to skyrocket to 500 and above. People yabbed my life. CBN brought out a memo and said, they are pegging dollar to so. And on top of their memo, I quoted it, I wrote, this thing means that they are panicking. So continue. And that's one of the things that gave me my highest amount of money ever in a very long time. My family, everybody changed their money to USD. And we did not even start selling till that money got to like 1,800.
That's serious money.
It's blood money actually. But it was the idea of you understanding how fundamental plays with current market trend that you're able to make informed decisions. A lot of people made money through that time. And then we had Bitcoin when Bitcoin was that when it fell from 60K, when I called the seller for around 60K, and I said I gave the levels, it was going to go to 40K, 30K, 20K, 10K, 5K. I don't they give levels. And, you know, of course, 60K hit 40K, people were hailing, 30K, people were hailing, you know. And then when the last two projections, you know, people were just waiting to say, KENECHUKWU, you don't know anything. And I was like, bruh, man, you know, it's trading. I can't get everything. I think, oh, I mean. So people, one thing about being a professional, one thing about being up there in life is that people would always want to look for the easiest way to attack you.
Yeah.
And how you manage those situations would determine either you're down for or how you're going to rise. As a professional first, you know, and which is an area where I've failed in the past a little bit, you should not even talk too much about your doings. If you are beginning to explain too much, it becomes a problem. Explain it once and everybody can go. If you go to my profile now, one of the first things you're going to see on my Twitter is that you're going to see my when, you know, HF called me. And there's a reason it is there. Meaning that all the explanations you want to explain to me is written there. Do you get what I mean? So for me, I just feel like right now is a lot of danger for like newbies, because if you are looking for a mentor to pick, if you are the person who really likes lifestyle, you are going to be very confused because people tend towards money, anything that looks like money. And that's why it is a very scary place to be. So just do your diligence, you know, study the person.
Do their due diligence. Okay, study.
How do you study the person? Just study the person. If the person they post too much lifestyle, please run. The person is a TikTok influencer, please run. What the fuck are you doing and TikToking influence? You understand? Like, you will somehow know. Maybe me, I have the rare gift of knowing. Do you understand? But I mean, somehow, just try. It will help you a lot. Do you understand? Yeah.
Now, we've had some traders, which I don't want to mention name of, but you will know, parade themselves as, you know, the best in Africa, the best in Africa, the best in Africa, and all. If I am to ask you that in terms of actual trading, do you think you are the number one?
In terms of actual trading?
Yeah. People call the same 001. In fact, I know of 2, 3 different 001 that got themselves for.
Okay, so this is how I'm going to help you answer the question.
Okay.
You asked me in terms of actual trading if I'll call myself the best.
Yes.
I'm not here to argue who is best or not, but I'll help you in a way to answer that question without me answering it. All right? First things first. For you to be called the best in what you do, your results will have to speak to you, not money you are managing. I'm talking about your actual money. And I started out by telling you in this podcast that at the end of the day, right, achieving what I achieved in terms of profit margin, I told you nobody has achieved that.
Okay.
Not in Nigeria. Sub-Saharan Africa. There are two different things. We are not talking, you know, some people can say 001 and just shout for the sake of noise. Now, there are people who are 001 in terms of commissions. KENECHUKWU is not close to it. If it's that one, might not even be top 30 step. You know, I'm not close. There are people who, you know, those ones, it is their lifestyle. I give it to them because it is not easy to make that kind of money. But when it comes to actual trading, I might not be the best in terms of technicals, right? But the best, how you calculate the best, really, how you know the best is who makes the most out of the little they know. If you are a good footballer or a good striker and you don't score goals, and every time you dribble, you reach when to score, you throw a mental crowd, would you be rated at all? But guess what? They will say what? He has potential. Adi? Right? But if you get to the goalpost and score it, that makes you something for people to worry about. I don't really think, except if you go into a room where there are traders and you say, do you know KENECHUKWU? In fact, the last thing they can do is to be in denial that they do not know, because they would have asked. There's no way you are not going to ask. You will know that this guy, where they here, he actually knows, like, he literally, I've been here a long time, like a long time. And it's not now that I started doing crazy things. I've done $10K to $10 to $10,000, right? And that is not the first or the last. I've done crazy things in this life. I remember putting up a challenge on Twitter 4 consecutive times when I deposited 2,000 and I said, you know what, who is going to move 2,000 to $20,000 in record time? And I did it 3 straight times. 2K to 20K. Withdrew everything. Waited for somebody to come through. Everybody, go to my Twitter and search it. 2K to 20K challenge. Everything. And I did it on HF as well. Put 2K again, move it to 20K the second time. Put it again, move it to 20K the third time. That 20K the third time eventually got to 35K or thereabout. And I pulled it out. That is the consistency in doing the same thing over and over again is what makes you know what you know. And that's not to say even those who know what they know do not experience downtime. If I had tried 2K to 20K in September, it would have cost me. I needed to understand that, because at the end of the day, I feel like, to me, and according to what I've achieved, I feel like I'm the best there can ever be for my own self. I don't care about whatever person anybody wants to say in this entire life. And I can tell you that every single thing I own today, none of it is every student fee I make today, 100% goes to Kene Foundation. Having over currently 11 people totally out of school, from primary school to university, fully sponsored. Having people who are fully accommodated. The first time I bought a house in America was not in 2024. We bought it as early as like 2020. Not, a small play or how. Yeah, definitely. Like, have my own space like this before we started saying, okay, let's try Nigeria. Let's try the bank.
Well, you don't pay for this game.
Yeah, like a long time. I feel like, bro, and let me also add that I have mentored traders in banks. Within my small space in Lekki Phase 1, people who have been trading in banks for years came into that space and said, Kenechu, come and teach me. This was 2020, 2019. So I've been a mentor of mentors. Many of these people you call mentors were actually taught by people I taught. I needed to understand that. So at the end of the day, sometimes people say, Kenechu, you don't really blow your whistle so much. That's why, I was telling you, I wish I know how to do social media, editing. You cannot do, I woke up from my bed, you remove the sheets, then go to laptop, do like this. Pretend Magami, what Miami, you now play one song, wear a suit. Then maybe, all those kind of funny things. I wish I knew how to, maybe then people would value me more. But now I just,
Well, your Instagram page looks rich. Like, if anyone says, say,
no, if you come to my page, even if I decide to look for you, I'm not broke now. There's no there way. There's nothing about me that looks I'm not, but I know I'm no small person.
No, I see. You can say you are the old one.
My house number is 001 now. Everything about me is 001. I'm the one of the 001, Me and the videos supposed to even drive. So. But yeah, I just like the word one because it keeps me on my toes, it keeps me on my toes. It just wants me to keep on fighting. It makes me to have like that awareness that for you to be able to be a mentor to people, you have to consistently learn on the job. Do you understand? It just makes you stay there and want to learn more. So yeah.
Now, this question is very important.
Mm-hmm.
For a trader as successful as you, right? There would have been, ups and down movements before this present time.
Yeah.
What has been your greatest setback, and how were you able to come back?
My greatest setback, in the last podcast, I kind of like mentioned it. One of my greatest setback was in 2019. Okay. I was at the back of one of my best trading years. In 2019, I had about 4 months, almost 5 months of no loss. It was back to back to back to back. I accrued one of my highest amount of money in trading. And that was when I gave myself a well-deserved trip. I remember wanting to buy a Nissan GTR at that time. I think it was retailing over 128K or something like that. And so I really wanted to celebrate myself so much. So I came back from my travel. I was in a family house. And, I remember sleeping and I was just hearing screams in my dream. I said, what's the apple for here? And then I woke up. And it happened that, my parents, like their shops and everything in Lagos Island were on fire, That was like the scariest time of my life because, when you have like companies on fire, it is not just your goods that are involved now. They had to do a little bit of import and export. So you had shipments that wanted to be delivered that were burned. So it was just not my dad and mom. My dad's mom, his shops burned to the ground, about 3 of them. My mom, 3 shops burned to the ground. My 2 sisters, you had two each burned to the ground.
Like
It was everything. They were all within the same complex.
Oh.
So we are negative multi-millions of naira. There was nowhere to start from.
Now like a family.
Yeah, it was family masters. This world. Have you ever met trouble that is bigger than your jubilation? That was what we were facing. So then I was telling myself, okay, KENECHUKWU, are you going to get a GTR or are you going to solve an immediate need? So those are the 2 questions I needed to ask myself. So in 2019, I started my life afresh technically. I just took all I had, money, GTR, money and everything. I took everything like this and I said, you know what? This might not add up to anything, but that is a fresh start. Let's see how it goes. And I restarted my trading journey with under $1,000.
So you gave everything
to my family. All. So a very rich person, moderately rich person, became broke overnight. But the only one thing I had then was trading. Trading was that single thing I could look at and say, if this thing fails with this small money I have now, that means there's a new madman in Lagos. So he has to work. And if you check through my, I kind of like have my channel and my Instagram as a reference point to my life. Not that I give a shit about people who look at them. Most times I spend my time scrolling through the past to see how much I've grown. Because in times where I have witnessed the devil itself in terms of sadness, in those times where I've cried and then come to my mentees to encourage them even in tears, my Instagram serves as a reference point for me to look back and say, okay, KENECHUKWU, you've actually achieved. So those were the times where you see me doing flips of $100 and attempt 10K. People do not know. They don't know where the fuel was coming from. They don't know I was broke as fuck. People were just telling, I don't know. Things with the album for background, man. Wow, this thing was crazy. And you know why it was painful? Then I'll come online, some of my students will say, okay, I'm so grateful for you. I just made $5,000. And they will be like, chai, where was it $5,000? You $5,000. Holy was a hood then. So that point in my life could either break me because in fact I was broke myself, to be honest, but it just happened that during that time, things were moving so good. I barely had losing trades. Things were moving as perfect as it was. And so I was able to push myself back up. So, this thing happened 2019, mind you. So the money I got from that time was still what I was able, I didn't get a GCI eventually. I had to get an ML, right? The ML I got and everything. And I got my ML then, and after I did that flip from, 3K, I got to 44K, I got to 110, I picked up myself from there. And that's what grew me into this level. So would you call that luck? Everybody needs luck, to be honest, because had it been this September, happened then. Yeah, if I said, because I was, this September, almost, you know what saved me this year? Was that before September, I already made a lot. Had it been September was February, my boy would have been giving me a cup of Gary now. By now, I've already ready for car. You know one thing? People do not speak about how the sad reality of trading enough. I think we are all surrounded by the good times. People do not exactly speak about like how down you can fall. Yes, people will look at this video now and tell me that is where this management comes in. Nah, lie. There will be a point in your life where you ignore risk. This management, they obey 10 losses now. Everything go like, the thing about being at the center, just as we are talking, is that the audience will always have an opinion.
Sure.
But one thing I always tell people is that time will reveal itself. You feel you are the best risk management person, time will reveal itself. There will always be a time. There's no, if you look at the range of a trade, like the way a trader moves to the level he wants to be, there's no straightforward path. In fact, if this is the level, if this is ground zero, the trader might even go again, and even keep on going till he has what? A mindset shift. So we do not talk about the down times a lot, and that's why you see a lot of mentors swallowing pain. You see, I've seen mentors who will come and be showing made 20K, 10K, 15K, and I will see them outside. And I know that you do not even need that money. Not, in fact, that's one of the reasons I stopped linking up. I know you don't. Why are you lying to me? I know you don't. In fact, a matter, there one that was even 20K. I know where they stay. They squat with like almost 7 people. You are coming online, but if it's fake it and make it mentality, problem, so be it. But there's an extent to which you can fake it, because there are places where you go to hide from. Normal place that, you go, you want to enjoy yourself, that even if you want to spend for nothing next year, you can't spend past $100. You go see the person, he's going to pass here, because say, you don't catch her.
No catch her.
Yeah, you get what I mean? So, fake it and make it fine. But at the end of the day, the worst thing a man can ever do in his life is to lie to himself. Because the more you lie to yourself, the more sad you become.
Yeah.
So sometimes you can just seek help. You can just seek help, and maybe the needed help will come. So right, people don't really talk about like the losses in trading enough. I feel so.
And it's just they trying to, paint that positive side alone, which
of them, and that's why when people talk about like the best, most of the time I come online to say I'm the best. I just say that not because people mostly see my tweets as me bragging. But Twitter is just my safe space where I just say my state of mind at that point in time. How you feel like processing it is okay. I might just take a trade now and I made one amount of money, I'm the best. It is my state of mind. It is my Twitter. I'm just tweeting. It doesn't mean I'm coming to challenge everybody to say, okay, KENECHUKWU did that. I mean, if you bring the challenge on, I'm all for it anyways. But at the end of the day, I trade for me to be a better version of me as I trade. Anything that comes along with it, I'm fine with it. In fact, right now, my goal 2025 by the grace of God is have a hedge fund, which is something I will definitely do. Trade very much less, maximum twice a week. Eventually once a week. But mind you, that once is going to be a do or dies. 8 hours. That was Interpol might be involved. Do you understand? That is the growth I want to. I don't want to be that person that every morning when I come out for my weekend, I'm saying, oh, I can't wait for Monday. No, I can't wait for one day out of the day. Once I get, and I know, and I'm saying it now as a reference point, because I now look at it, 2025, when I now say, because in 2023, I told myself I want to limit to 3 times, and look at me enjoying that moment. 2025, one time you come in, okay, this makes sense. You saved a lot of money, okay, let's risk 150K here and see whether I can give us like 500, 600. You collect it. You do it 5 times. You run away and enjoy with your wife and do what you have to do. That is how I want to live my life. Anything that concerns day trading, waking up and doing TikTok videos, you won't find. You get me?
Because sometimes some people used to feel that. Some people say forex trading gives you your freedom of time, and you have nothing. So forex trading, from your 9 to 5, you enter 24 hours.
No. You are no longer. That's the thing. I say if you want the freedom, but you don't want the freedom, you can't. Money is something that nobody gets tired of making at all. So if you do not have rules that will make you prevent that overtrading, you are going to be lost in it. Sometimes you can be a trader and you totally forget that you even have family. You forget that you are not in this world. Me, my own. That's why you notice, if you study me very well, I only trade London section. The moment I trade the peak sections of London, 3 hours, I barely ever traded, and my trade enter 12 p.m. If I start trading, let's say by 7, worst case, 10, 9 o'clock
for the day.
They even reach 10. Let me tell you what I've studied about myself. If my trade enter 10 o'clock, I'll most likely lose it. Because I am very much interested in just trading the peak London section, and I'm done. it gives me a lot of time for me to take care of other things, other businesses I have, family, friends. To see that, imagine say I did with you now and they think about CHOCH is about to, no, it's about to realize it doesn't work that way. So I feel like everybody should be able to create their own time, their own reality. You did 9 to 5, you should not be doing 244 to 5. Nobody has that kind of time. So just own your time. Nobody should pressure you to do what you want to do at any given time. If you feel like and you are mentally ready to trade, you pick up your laptop, look for the best opportunity, and then you go for it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's been an amazing time with the 001, KENECHUKWU. And I know that might cause lots of controversies, but it is what it is. So right about now, we're going to be taking a short break, and when we get back, we'll try to round up this podcast. Stay tuned.
All right. My name is Ojiako KENECHUKWU Osondo, 001 of trading. And do not forget to subscribe to FS Trade Talk with PeakFX, okay? If you don't do that, then you are in trouble. So even if you don't subscribe because of me. Let's go.
All right, guys, welcome back to Forex Trading Straight Talk podcast, and I'm your host, Mr. PeakFX. And of course, we still have Kene with us, and we're going to be rounding up the podcast now with some questions. And I want to ask, from the conversation we've been having, right? It seems like you've always been trading, live capital. Have you ever traded prop firm, and what is your take about prop firms?
Have I traded prop firm? Yeah, I traded prop firm one time, and that was the E8. The reason I traded prop firm then was just to show myself that I could pass a prop firm. My take on prop firm really is that, see, I will always choose trading with your own money, and the reason is quite simple. With props, let me put it this way. In as much as they have rules and they tell you how to meet like profit targets, if you look into those rules and profit targets wisely, you understand that you can also make those rules and replicate it with your own money, and you're almost going to see similar. Why people might tell me you can use small money to get an account and whatever, you need to understand that why these props are in existence reading is because they understand that under 5% of traders make money.
Yeah.
Meaning that anybody who's going to come out and start telling you, prop, go get this prop, get that prop, it means at the end of the day that I won't say 99, 100% of them, it is that profit purchase that will force them, because they understand the mathematics is there. When the records come out, if for every 1,000 people that will get a prop firm, out of those 1,000, you will barely ever see at least 30, let's just say worst case 25 that will pass.
Yeah.
That means the remaining 75, the money has gone to the prop. So why they tell you, oh, we're going to put that on a live server, whatever, in real sense, those money, those 75 that are lost, if you multiply their money and the many others that lose, it is that money that they are paying you
back. Yeah.
So is it really beneficial to traders? See, I'm not going to stay here and try to say, you know what, you must follow a particular way. There are people who have made good money from props, and I'm never going to take that away from them. Kudos to them. But I want to say that if you really want to enjoy trading, just use your money. It's not going to cost. That $100 means a lot. If you can leverage on your $100 and also have enough in the tank as well, because somebody might come and tell you, oh, where will I get $100 from? But watch them feel a challenge in prop. You see how they will get the next money to get another prop account. You know why? Because it is a bit, the psychology of prop firm is funny. They know.
It's a mirage. It just creates
it gives you the feeling of, exactly. So when you lose, you always want to get another. Have you actually sat down to calculate how much prop accounts you've gotten? If you're a prop firm trader, calculate how many you've gotten. And then
Some all the money.
and some over there, that I'll compare it to your payout. Find out. Because if you want to get like a 200K account, how much is a 200K account now?
I think it's close to $1,000.
Okay, you get $1,000. If you fail 500K, 100K accounts, that means at the end of the day, you would have given the prophet a free 5K, right? Now go and ask them how much they collect when they make their money. You will see somebody making 3.5. That means at the end of the day, that prophet has made 1.5 gain on you. So imagine if that prophet, the prophet has like 100,000 idiots like you. Calculate it as 1.5.
That's money for them.
That's sitting in me. And that's why, if you check traders very well, the moment they open a prop firm and own a prop firm, you'll notice there will be a lifestyle change. You know, watch all the traders that have prop firm. Oh, you're smiling. There will be a lifestyle change. If they were driving a GLE before, they will upgrade it. You know why? Because that is the goal of money. You really want to get to a point whereby the big boys now, you want to own a broker. You no longer want to be dealing. You know, I think that's what I will do in 2025. I look for one sweet name. I've always wanted to own a broker. So you just put it there. You own a broker. You now know only 3 to 5% make money. So that means the people who now make money, maybe if you manage to jam somebody like me who is mad, you give them direct liquidity. Meaning that if they trade, the market will automatically pay them. It has nothing to do with it. Do you understand? For the others who don't now make money, when they put, you can put them in C band. If they put, you don't even need to send it to the market because you know that they will lose it. So at the end of the day, it's so much money for people. Do you understand? Even Q has a broker too. You get now he has a broker because that's the end goal. You see that your life is going to be very straight. So you get what I mean? So,
and that's why some prophets, when they encounter people that are withdrawing consistently, they just find a rule and just,
yes,
nobody wants to lose. You draw first month, second month, third month. They'll just find one rule and just,
they'll cheer about it immediately. They chase it immediately. And that's why, if you notice very well, have you ever seen any prop firm that does not go hang bang on advertising?
They don't joke with it.
Advertisement. They would employ every single person that can influence to influence. Because if people don't come in, they are going to pack up. So it is MMM that has sweet mouth. That's what they call prop firm. They know what they are doing. They know where the money comes from. So don't let anybody woo you into telling you, we are trying to get the finance traders. You don't say, hey, you don't mean the finance trader, you don't have the job. Yeah, you just woke up and you say you want to sign up people. I hope they're not firing share. But they're firing us. How very? No, in short, in some meeting is fine. This is what I'm saying. Every prophet, FTMO, anyone, you see that they always tell you, we are looking for the finest traders. Are you that jobless that all you want to do is celebrate people? If something is too good to be true, you should be running. That is the real game. You should be very, okay, what are you guys on about? But to be honest, I give kudos to people who have seen business. Like I said, in trading, there are different ways to make money. And if you perfect a niche to make money in trading, be it either through owning a prop, either through marketing, either through the actual trade, you should be given enough credit for that.
It's not easy.
Because it's not easy. If it's easy, exactly. Say it is easy. This is why me sometimes, when I talk about people who make money from commissions, I don't say, people think I say it from a place of hate or spite.
You are even commending them.
I'm actually saying, listen, the only issue I'm having is that if you make money from these places, do not say you make it from actual trades, because you are actually causing a problem.
Yeah.
But if you come out and say, I make money, which is not the best of things to say, you want to be telling people that you are mentoring, that this is not what makes you money, it's a problem. But kudos to you, because trust me, so much commissions like that, you are a genius. You open up a prop firm and you are doing well, you are a genius. You decide to be giving signals and maybe it's working for people and it's not working for you. You are a dude. Yes. Yeah. Like in anything you do. So that's what I'm saying. I'm all for that. You get what I mean? I believe anyhow you want to make money, make money. So far, you are not stealing. You might steal somehow, but just shall make money. This thing don't provide that. Well, you gotta go. So yeah, basically, all right, some bad.
Oh, that question. If Forex didn't work out, what is that other thing that Kene will be very good at and will still become rich in his life if Forex didn't work out?
That's very easy now. Now nobody laughs. I go be stand-up comedian. Eh? You are asking me person. Man, die if I go. I go be basket mouse. Wallahi. Wallahi, we see that like, see, I can never be poor because I try as much as possible to find somewhere I'm running. I'll go be stand-up comedian and I'll do well at it. Oh, go and pity it, I do form. But into the don't deal with you like this, I will crime better joke. Everybody will enjoy. Well, outside that as well, I love to import and export. I feel like that's why I got Shop America. So definitely.
Is this still in operation?
Yeah, I have my permanent customers. I don't advertise anymore because trading has fully taken over. But of course, when my main customers tell me they want to ship, do that. I always love to do shipping. It's something that really help my life. So yeah, I would have been there. What else? I'm a stand-up comedy and shipping. I think I would do very good. If you see my babe Chicks, now why she still dey in love with me? If you can't even get angry with me because I go just the crack joke. You get tired. So that's really it.
Okay, then another twist to that question. If you were to be a 9 to 5 person, what job would you have had a very good success at?
I'll do Yahoo now.
No, I mean normal 9 to 5.
Not be 9 to 5. He said, what is abnormal about what I said? Oh, no, all that fair, you go out like you go to solve different now. What? But I'm joking. If I wanted to do a 9 to 5, what would I do?
Which job would you say no, Kene would do so well at?
To be fair, I don't think I've ever sat down to think about doing a 9 to 5, even from a very little age. I just knew I wasn't going to fit into that space. I knew from the onset. So if you tell me to think of one, bro, I can't fit into
it. The closest, just think. Whether it's from what you studied in, the closest 9 to 5 that the version of 9 to 5 Kene would have been good at this.
Wallahi, nothing. You don't understand what I say. I'm telling you, my siblings are 9 to 5ers doing very, very well in their field, enjoying themselves.
We have never envisioned it.
And that is what got me to where I am. I knew even from, I was in College of Medicine. When I was in College of Medicine, this place was not making sense to me. Left, studied genetics, finished. If you tell me anything about gene right now, I don't even know what the gene is. I knew I was never going to be there. So I just wanted to waste all my time and say, okay, I have a certificate. But if it's in terms of saying, let me go and work in a place, it just never occurred to me. I've always told myself people will work for me. So that ambition and that need to want to place myself there just discarded any idea of me wanting to be. So if you ask me how I fit into Wala, I don't know. Now why you ask, you tell me, I don't tell Yahoo. But definitely, at a joke, we don't do that here, So yeah.
All right. So lastly, I just wanted to, give traders advice. Nigerian traders, African traders, those that are striving to become, consistent. Because making money, for example, being profitable doesn't guarantee consistency. You might make profit this month and not make next month.
You can even make profit this morning and lose this night.
So for those that are aspiring to make money consistently from Forex trading, what advice do Ojiapo KENECHUKWU have for them?
The major advice I'm really gonna give really is that number one, you should know the environment you are coming into. The first things first, you are definitely not gonna find it easy. Anybody who says you're gonna find it easy is just lying to you. The second thing you must keep in mind is the fact that you are gonna have depressing times. A lot of it. If you have not even started having it now, that means you are here to be profitable because you're gonna have it. You will have times whereby you feel like life is just totally against you, where you feel like you've hit a brick wall. But one of the things, the major thing I'm just gonna say is that you should persevere. Less procrastination. The world is there to be taken by those who prepare for it. What that simply means is that you should be able to show up at all times. Regardless of whether you hit a brick wall or not, you should always show up because this is an industry whereby if you decide to stay away from it from a long time, when you come back, you are just going to be everywhere at the same time. So the key thing to remain profitable in this business is to be consistent. It doesn't matter if you are consistently making mistakes. It doesn't matter. Eventually, you'll figure your mistakes out if you are willing to adjust in the environment. And at the end of the day, give yourself time. I like to use myself to mirror this example. When I started making good money in trading, in as much as I know I had people I looked up to, when I felt like the information I was getting from them was too much in terms of, let's say, lifestyle or everything, I muted everybody, to be honest. I muted every single person that was going to pressure me to overachieve when I did not even have what I needed to overachieve. When I felt like I got the necessary support I needed mentally, I brought them back into my life to watch them and see what I could get. So if you feel like what the information you're absorbing is too much for you to carry, it's okay for you to mute and discard everybody. Go within your own zone, prepare properly for it, and then you'll see that the sky is your starting point. So that's what I'll leave them with.
All right. Thank you so much for honoring my invitation to Forex Trading Straight Talk podcast. I do not take it for granted, and I really, really, really appreciate you.
I can't even lie. This was a very wonderful section. Look, is brain draining, but I kind of like really enjoy it. So thank you so much. Yeah, I appreciate that.
No, all right, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of this amazing episode of Forex Trading Straight Talk podcast, and I remain your host, Mr. Pick. See you guys in the next episode. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.